What do you guys think of the Goldie Roger chapters in the middle?
About this. That was like amazing. I think I like Wano arc a lot, but when he went to Goldie Roger, that just made it better. I don't know why. That was like because we're always dying to see what he was like, right? Because you see him once in the beginning and you're like, holy fuck, this guy is amazing, and then you don't see him at all.
Yeah,
So when he gives us these
yeah.
like little
It
diamonds,
only took us 23 years to get a
I
view
know,
of the
right?
man.
He gives us these little diamonds. You're like, oh, it was totally worth it. Those chapters are, I think, the best of this arc. Yeah,
What
I
what
totally
I
agree.
find what
Yeah.
I find really interesting is that
Hmm.
Gold Rogers was the name given to him by the government, and he wanted it to be Goldie Rogers because he understood that the initial D has a lot of power to it.
Hmm.
Initial D.
So, oh my God. So he really wants to be called Goldie Rogers because whatever he learnt at Laughtail is has really affected him. It made him think about himself as well. It made him think of his own name, and he was like, "Yes,
Yeah.
I'm Goldie Roger."
By the way, speaking of Goldie Roger, War, I want
Yeah.
Dragon, I want Smoker, I want these guys back too.
I think Smoker is just
Oh,
gone
I
from the
do.
scene. I just don't know where he is. He's just been
Yeah,
missing for the
I think
longest
by the
time.
time the war begins, he'll become an admiral or
they
something.
showed him in some SBS, right?
Did they?
Yeah, but he wasn't doing anything
Just remember. Yeah, but
particularly
Dragon has to
important.
come. At least I want to see more of him.
Yeah, Dragon.
He's
I think
mystery.
if this war goes on long enough or big enough, I
Yeah,
think Dragon will come into.
Dragon, Sabo.
So that's what you expect, and that's the expectation of your future of the future for One Piece. They are
Yeah, they
expecting
need to
Dragon to
reveal.
come in for this
He's
war.
still a big mystery, dude. We need to know more about Dragon.
I think he's the only character that has a veil of
Yeah, that's
mystery
true.
shrouded over him. Like there's not much we know about this guy. Like I think we know more about Goldie Roger than we do know about
Yeah,
Dragon
and I
at this
know
point.
Oda is not gonna Cage of Eden us. They're not gonna release
Yeah,
cool characters like Hades and then never show them again. So
yeah.
I expect a good result for my expectations. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, I actually expect something. I actually expect something different. I want this war to go on. I want there to be deaths, but mainly I want to see if Luffy will fight Shanks or if Blackbeard will kill Shanks before Shanks and Luffy
Why
can
would
fight.
Luffy fight Shanks?
Probably for the One Piece.
No, it's like Shanks is like I see Shanks knows
Yeah.
what Laughtail entails, right? He stopped at the second last island, and he knows exactly what was there. Gold Rogers told him, and he started crying. There's a reason he
Yeah.
started crying. If that means he understood whatever was there. It could also be that he was crying because Roger told him that he had less than a year to live. But I'm sure Shanks knows, and if he knows, he
Yeah.
he knows how to get the second last island. I'm pretty sure
So
he'll know
he's
how to
like a
get the last
guardian, you're
island,
saying?
and
Yeah.
he hasn't so far.
Hmm.
So for all
Yeah.
yeah, he's like a guardian. For all you know, he probably has the rubbings of the poneglyphs which Roger himself used. So it could have been passed down to him. So I'm pretty sure that he's like a guardian, and
But then
Roger told him to only let someone worthy of the name with the name D to get in. Or, those who are worthy in
what
different
about
ways.
what about Buggy? Buggy also was Shanks's best
Best
friend.
friend.
He could also
Yeah,
hold
but
the secrets
but
to it.
Buggy has been shown to not care about treasures as much as so it could be that going to if One Piece could have one of the weapons. One Piece could have one of uh, the relics of Joy Boy. A lot of stuff, right? It could be ores, something related to ores.
Buggy
So
is
all these
Buggy.
things are things that Buggy won't be interested in. So he probably thought, there's no treasure. There's just this old shit which I don't care about. Or Buggy is just not good enough to go to the last island.
Again, sorry, but
Either
I
one.
have to bring
Yeah.
this up now that it came to mind.
Yeah.
Im Sama, the reveal of the head of the Gorosei.
I don't think there's a point talking about him. There's
But then,
literally nothing we know about him except for the fact that we can't even tell his size because of the hat. Is the hat small? Is he small? Is the hat big?
is his
Yeah,
head the hat?
it just
Um,
makes no sense. We can't talk about him until we get more information. But what do you guys think of this theory that Ors, the original Ors, the continent puller, was villainized by the government because he was trying to save islands from the world government, which is why even in Wano, it's on top of a waterfall instead of being at the bottom. He pulled the island in such a way and placed it in such a way that it made it hard for the world government to go there.
Was there a theory? Was there a like some proof behind it, or any sort of
No,
way?
there's no proof.
Yeah.
There's no proof. But he's called the continent puller oars. So there must be a reason he's pulling the continent. So people thought it was to stop the world government after the
And then
I
void
think
he
it's
went and
century.
possible that you can
died
actually just
next to Greco
pull
Moria.
Wano out of the
Yeah,
map
it may
itself.
be in other islands. You never know what else they're pulling out.
Yeah.
But okay, let's
What he just yeeted Skypiea into the sky.
basically. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, okay. So that let's wind down now and go to the last part of this podcast, which is what are the recommendations we give based on One Piece.
Hey, before that, can we
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about Bing Sake? Come
Of
on,
course,
we can't
Brook
go without
MVP.
mentioning Bing
Brook
Sake.
MVP.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. I just want
Yeah,
to
it's a
put it
really
out
good
there.
song. You guys should listen to it if you haven't.
But-
Like, amazing.
If we talk about recommendations, I recommend Assassin's Creed Black
Yes,
Flag.
it does put you in the mood for a lot of pirate themed things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's an amazing story, but that's all I'm going to talk about. That's my recommendation. Play Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
For if it's One Piece, I would suggest you read or watch the other big two, which is Bleach and Naruto.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you haven't already, because One Piece is like one of the more famous ones. So that is definitely my recommendation. But it's hard. You don't have something like One Piece which involves laughter, which involves emotions, which involves deep theory crafting, such attention to detail. I would say you read Hajime no Ippo because that is the closest manga to One Piece's uniqueness that I've seen,
Yeah.
because even that has a lot of emotion, has a lot of funny moments, it has a lot of intense moments, motivational moments, so on and so forth. So we don't have a lot of
Wonderful time,
recommendations
yeah.
here because it's just One Piece is just too
I
unique
also,
in its own way. Yeah.
yeah. I also recommend that after reading chapters and getting introduced to new characters, you kind of look up these characters because there are many real life references. There are
Yeah.
many like Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, and Blackbeard, Thatch, or Teach. So Edward Teach is the real life name for Blackbeard, and the Oda kind of divided it up into
Yeah.
Whitebeard and Blackbeard.
Doesn't
So
he have Bonnie also?
there are things like
His
these that you
Bonnie.
can discover
Yeah,
if you
And when they
exactly.
Just take a
combine, they
time.
make Greybeard. Dun, dun, dun.
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jewelry
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Also, already the recommendations are supposed to be done by us to you, so this is the only time you can recommend. After this, you just have to listen to what we have to say.
Yeah.
But okay. Anyway, that's where we're going to wind up for this episode of Weeb 101. We hope you learned something new, and we hope that you will give One Piece a try if you haven't already. If you have, what do you think of the current theories that have been going around? Maybe you could leave a comment talking about why we suck and don't understand the series, but we will respond to you and we can fight about it all day long. So I'm Brew.
And I'm Adi.
But shit.